up, y'all, and how you doing today? We're gonna go over what me and Renee G have talked about in the past is your different pipes versus different tobaccos. Which pipe is better for which tobacco? There's not a tried and true, there's not a recipe book, there's not anything that's written down in stone telling you, hey, you got to smoke this pipe, you got to smoke this tobacco with this pipe. But if you know a little bit about your pipes, it might help you with which tobacco you want to smoke with your pipe. So, one, you have the different types of material that your pipes are made out of, your Briars, your Meerschaums, your Corncobs. But then you also have your different sizes of bowl size, and that will definitely make a difference on how your tobacco is burning. So we're going to break down a little bit of just a little quick breakdown of what your briars are, what your meerschaums are, what your corncobs are, and just give you a little bit of information. So maybe it'll help you in your future purchases of tobaccos and pipes on what you should be smoking and what you shouldn't be smoking. Jumping right into it. So the most, should I say, famous or the most used material for pipes is briarwood. Briarwood is an excellent material to make pipes out of. Just about, I'd probably say 80% of pipes are made out of briarwood. This is a light wood that doesn't combust, catch fire very easily. But what the problem is briarwood is very airy. It has a lot of holes, a lot of pop marks in it that one, it takes on a lot of your smoke essentials. It takes on a lot of the oils. It takes on a lot of smoke. So a good thing with briarwoods is you should maybe, if you know you're going to smoke a non-aromatic, you should use that one over and over and over again to break in that pipe. One, it's going to open up those pores and it's going to take in that flavor of that non-aromatic, and you want to build that cake. If you're going to use an aromatic, you should probably use the same smoke with the same pipe. Now, saying that, pipes get kind of expensive, so that's kind of a deal breaker for a lot of people because you don't want to keep buying a lot of different pipes. Me myself, I haven't done this. I smoke whatever I want and whatever pipe I want to, and Renee can attest to that. He might smoke whatever he wants and whatever pipe he wants to. I haven't, designated one pipe for one simple smoke. Moving on from that is your Meerschaum pipes. Now, so Meerschaum is an excellent pipe to smoke out of, but it is a very porous material. So that means it's going to take on whatever oils, whatever blends have that is given that flavor to it. So it's not a good one for a lot of aromatics to have a lot of heavy oils because one, Meerschaum is a cool smoking pipe. So you want to use a non-aromatic in that because those oils are going to cause it to burn hot. So if you're smoking a Meerschaum, maybe smoke your English blends, your Latakias, your Periques, your Orientals, and break that in. A good thing about Meerschaum pipes is the more you smoke them, they're going to take on a patina. They're going to change colors. You're going to get it. It's going to be that chalky white. The longer you smoke it, it's going to take on a different color. And depending on what you're smoking, what type of blend you're smoking in it, it's going to get a different color. It might get a little bit darker or it might be a lighter, but it's going to change from that white chalky color. Now, another type of pipe is what me and Renee like to call, and a lot of people like call, is your corncob pipes. Corncob pipe is a utility pipe. It's a use it for anything. It's a smoke anything in it. It's a cheap pipe, but it can smoke anything. It's very absorbent, so it will take on the flavors of your aromatics, but it's also not going to build up a lot of cake to where it's going to ghost your pipe. So where when you smoke it, you're going to get the last couple of pipe fills in that blend. So corn cobs are good, they're cheap, and you can use those to test out new blends that you're smoking. But it is a very good utility pipe. So if you're around the yard working, kicking it, whatever, you ain't got to worry about dropping it or breaking or whatever else. Me, frankly, I don't like corn cobs because they do give a little ash smell to them. They give ash taste to them, so they burn real hot to me. And maybe it's because I've smoked some aromatics in it, which typically burn hotter. Maybe I should do some English or some Orientals in them. Mine favorite is the Briarwoods, but it all depends on what you're smoking. So maybe you should, my opinion, and Renee can come in a second and give his opinion. My opinion is maybe take a Briarwood for a Oriental, maybe take one for an English blend, maybe take one for a Burley. Burleys work great in Briarwoods. But if you're going to use a briar for your aromatics, then keep that same briar for your aromatics because you're going to get a lot of hot burning aromatics and you don't want to burn out that briar wood. But you always got to think about, are you going to ghost out this pipe? And if you don't know what ghosting is when you smoke your pipe and you're getting that taste, that flavor from the last bowl that you smoked aromatic wise. If you 2 or 3 bowls later, you're still tasting that still cherry bomb, or you're still tasting that, that same chocolate that you smoked 2 or 3 pipes ago, you got to think about that. So you don't want to completely scrape out your cake, but you do want to keep in mind what you're smoking. Renee, come in with your 2 pence there, Hoss.
All of mine are definitely Briar. Now, I've had a Meerschaum pipe. I've had a Corncob pipe, which I sent to my brother to get him started. But most of my pipes are Briar. I typically only smoke aromatics. So I remember when we first started this, and I would ask Royce, are you designating a pipe for a specific blend? And he said no. He was just smoking, like he said, whatever he wanted to with whatever pipe he had. And I've kind of followed suit. Ultimately, like I do have like designated ones, like my Chris Kringle one, like it's a Christmas one, so I kind of just use like my peppermint mocha in that one or something minty in that one, and I haven't really deviated with that particular pipe. Um, so it just depends. But once you get past the technical aspects of selecting a pipe, is it a Briar? Is it a Meerschaum? Is it a Corncob? Like for me, everything is based on, does it appeal to you? Like you have to like it. You have to like the way it looks. You have to like the way it feels in your hand. You have to enjoy the smoke process in general. So I'm not a technical person when it comes to that. Although I'm a very new pipe smoker, I try to think about stuff that I wasn't presented with when I was younger or around my way or in my neighborhood. So a lot of what I do is like for cultural awareness. Like I want the people back home around the way not to just be smoking Black and Miles and cigarettes and other things that we don't need to talk about on this channel right now. So, when I'm experiencing something new that I think is fun or just out of the norm, I kind of just want, my folks to try it, whether it's pipe smoking or bourbon or whatever. Like I just want a new experience of the whole process. So especially with pipes, like for my people, like instead of just sitting on the stoop, just get a pipe, chill out, read a book, expand your mind, think about things, and have debates. And that's why I like smoking pipes. It's a meditative process for me. So once you get past all the technical stuff, which Royce has eloquently put out into the world, pick something that you like, pick something that appeals to you, that to your personality, and then just enjoy it. Find a blend that you like, learn the ins and outs of how to get it started. Like I know when I wanted to let my little brother try it, I sent him some stuff. Like I sent him a corn cob. Here, try it before you spend a bunch of money. I want you to experience this and I want you to enjoy what I enjoy. But in that little starter packet, I provided the pipe. I gave him a little tamper tool, which all pipe smokers are going to have a couple of those. If you're weird like me, you're going to probably end up collecting those at some point. My favorite one is a Sherlock Holmes sent to
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, that's my favorite one right now, and I use it all the time. And I'm very particular about it. Like I don't like taking it out of the house, so that's my at-home tamper. So I don't want to drop it or ding it up because these two know how I get when stuff isn't right. But yeah, send him some pipe cleaners, a traveling case. That way he doesn't have to think about all this other stuff. Because ultimately, people are not going to be like, "What's Briar? What's Meerschaum?" Like that comes in the process of getting into the hobby and finally saying, okay, I don't know what this is. And you're looking, you're researching, and then you're like, oh, that's what that is. So for all new pipe smokers, my best advice is, again, find something that you like that appeals to you in your hand and visually. Get a tamper tool, get a cheap one, $3. You can get one really easy. Get some pipe cleaners, get yourself some high proof alcohol to clean it out, and then just enjoy the process and learning. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna ghost the pipe. You're gonna accidentally put alcohol on the finish, and you'll learn like that was a bad move. I haven't yet, knock on wood. So if I do, just somebody expect a free pipe because I won't get my. But other than that, it's just I want people to understand, like, yo, there's things that you can do that's different than what you've been doing that are really cool and relaxing. And as the older you get, you start to understand it. We can't do the same things we did back in the day. So when I have a minute to sit down and 30 minutes to an hour, I enjoy sitting down with a really relaxing blend that is not only enjoyable for me, but it's also enjoyable for my family. So then I'm like, ew, what is he doing? Why is it like that nasty habit? It's always, for the most part, pleasant for all of us. So enjoy the process, man, and learn and understand that there are going to be some bumps and bruises along the way, but you got to like it. That's my biggest thing. You just got to like it.
You kind of explained the whole ghosting process.
Mhm.
But then Royce, you mentioned it a couple of times. What is cake?
So cake is as you're smoking your pipe, there's a layer of tobacco residue, essentially,
It's
for a
carving.
layman's term. There's a tobacco residue that builds up on the inside of your pipe. So you can take your reaming tool and you can scrape all that out, but you don't want to, because one, that helps, like I said, leave the flavor in there, especially if you have a one pipe that you designate for one. So me and Renee are trying to get to, like I said, I've got 18 blends. We're trying to get to two or three blends that we want to continually buy, that we want to stock a pound of this blend, so that we know that's our tried and true that we're going to go to and we're going to kick back and we're going to relax and we're going to smoke that. That's what we're trying to get to. That's why we're trying all these different blends. That's why we're out here explaining to you all these different blends. So as you smoke your pipe, you're going to build a tobacco residue. Your tobacco, as you're heating it, it's melting, it's heating, it's releasing its oils into your pipe, and that is building on the inside of the chamber of your pipe. So that is cake. You don't want to have too much cake because that's taken away from the diameter of your pipe, is taken away from the freshness of your pipe. But you
Right.
don't want to scrape all that off, because that cake also builds a residue that keeps your pipe from degrading. So you got to think about it. You're smoking out of wood most of the time. If you're using a briar wood pipe, you're smoking out of wood.
Unless you're
So
pooping in New
you're
Jack City, then it's glass.
exactly. So you're introducing fire. You're introducing fire to wood. So what does fire and wood do? It degrades the wood. So the cake helps protect the inside of the bowl of the wood, and it also seasons. It's like a
It's like a
good
cast
cast
iron.
iron pan. It's like a
There
good
you go.
cast iron pan. See, hey, this is what happens, people, when you have three homies that have known each other for 30 plus years. We finish our own sentences. I was thinking cast iron. My boy E slapped out cast iron right on the top. So
Yeah,
it's
see,
like
I
a
got
good
three
cast iron
different cast
pan.
iron pans. You know what I'm
And I
saying?
Your
went crack.
grandmama said, "Hey boy, don't wash that pan. Don't wash that pan. You're washing out all the seasoning." No, it's the same thing with the pipe. So you just think about it that way. As Renee alluded to earlier, we are trying to change the mental focus of people our age and younger, of things that you never thought you could do. So when I hit Renee up, me and Renee have been smoking cigars. I said, Renee, I'm going to start smoking pipes. He said, bro, I've been wanting to do that for forever. So I would enlighten, for us hip hop heads, me, Renee, and Eric, I would enlighten smoking a pipe to listening to The Roots or Jill Scott or Erica Badu. If you're
All
gonna
my favorites.
sit, If you're gonna sit on your patio, you're gonna sit on your terrazzo, you're gonna sit on your balcony, and you're just gonna contemplate life, and you're just gonna chill. You're gonna throw on some Erica Badu. You're gonna throw on some Jill Scott. You're gonna throw on some Roots, and you're gonna kick back. That's what pipe smoking is to me. If you were to equate pipe smoking to musical enlightenment, that's where you're gonna get. Maybe some Miles Davis, even some jazz. I'm a jazz head, so this is what we're trying to impart on the people our age who haven't gone this route, or the people who are younger who are looking for something to relax. This is what we're looking at. So just take it as a relaxing, chill. It's not a rush. You're not going nowhere. You're gonna kick back and relax. I'm gonna smoke on your pipe.
So Ren, let me
Hope
ask you a
that
question,
answers.
man. Yeah. So when we've talked about it in the past, man, and again, if you guys are new to the channel, this is not something that I partake in. So when I'm asking these questions to these two guys,
You legitimately asking for a reason.
I legit just don't
Yeah.
know. We've talked about in the past, man, that when you guys are getting ready to actually smoke, you take out your blend, whatever it is that you're going to be using, you put it into your little pouch, whatever the case may be, you let it sit out. Is there a process when you first get a pipe before you actually smoke it for the first time? Is there like you do X, Y, and Z before you actually pack that pipe and smoke it for the first time? Or is it take it out of the case and you can immediately go in and start smoking with it?
What I always do is, as soon as it comes out of the box, I'll run a pipe cleaner through it just to make sure there's any dust or debris still in there just from the manufacturing process, and make sure that's cleaned out. I do kind of like sanitize the tip because I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I just don't know.
It's Renee we're talking about. It's OCD
Yeah,
here. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So I give it a preliminary, like, just once over, just to make sure that it's okay. And then it's the normal process. It's, set it out for 30 minutes to an hour, and then the tool's ready. You get your pamper, you get your lighter. It's a process. I mean, we've gone through different type of rituals coming up, and it's just another ritualistic habit. Now, I will say this, like, as an adult and a father, like, it's tobacco. Like, I don't want young kids smoking like pipes or drinking bourbon. Like, I'm not sitting up here advocating for like habits that could be detrimental to your health. However, if you're looking for a habit and you want to risk your health and you want to like just, play some roulette with your days, smoking a pipe isn't a bad option. I don't smoke every day. Like, I don't want anybody to think that either. I don't drink every day. I don't smoke every day. I just don't want to be in a situation where things become that much of a habit. But I do like the musical references that were just mentioned by Royce. It's very relaxing. When I go to the gym, I want to hear MOP and Wu-Tang and something
Something
live
to
and
amp
get
you
me
up
ready
with.
to go. When I want to write and sit and think, create, draw, like I'm listening to Erica or the Roots or Jill. Like, those are my favorite like groups and artists, period. So, but it's relaxing. It's not the same energy. And that's the same way I feel about smoking a pipe. It's very laid back. You get to sit, contemplate, and ponder. Like, you and both of you know me well. Like, I'm all over the place. So when I smoke a pipe, it forces me to slow down.
It centers you.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
forces me to slow down, take a breath, take a second, and figure things out slowly. So no, I don't want young kids smoking it right now. But when you get to our age and life is, what it is, you might need a second just to sit down and meditate. And you don't have to smoke to meditate. You can always
No.
pray. It's definitely something that I enjoy, and I've grown to enjoy it. So like he said, when we first talked about it, it wasn't like I was really worried about the social stuff, but that's part of it though. Like, we don't smoke pipes walking through Dorchester, Mattapan. Like, you'll never see brothers just walking down the street smoking a damn Briarwood pipe, walking to the T. Like, that's not going to happen. You're not going to see that. You'll see beaties. You'll see blunts. You'll see cigarettes. You'll see Black and Miles, and everybody's lips look like the pavement. You won't see a pipe. However, why not give it a shot? If you're gonna smoke something that's cool looking. To me, it's like almost an elegant type of thing too. It's sophisticated.
It is.
It's not ratchet stuff. And
Yeah.
there's an aspect of my personality that people say, "Oh, he's slightly bougie." So what? And I'm good with it. I don't really care what people say. But if I express it, if I'm showing, and if I want to share with people, I want people to know, hey, this is cool, and I'm cool, so I think I'm cool. You know what I mean? So why not give it a shot? So yeah, E, to answer your question, I always just kind of make sure they're clean, they're ready to go, and then I just sit and I think a lot. So if I ever get on the phone, I'm probably smoking a pipe because I get to slow down. I'm not on the go. I'm not running all over the place. So I would go ahead and give it a shot if you're interested, if you're curious, and if you really want to know something, just DM us. I don't or put it in the comments, like Roy says, put it in the comments.
Yeah.
So you know, we'll address it the best way we can. And before we started recording, I told people I'm not a genius. I don't have a PhD in this. This is a brand new endeavor for me. So I'm learning every day and changing up my ritual and my habits every single day. There's some stuff that I will smoke the first time, like, oh, I didn't like it. Give it a few days, try it again, and it's a different situation. Or if I tried in a different pipe, it's a different situation, and it can go either way. I've had like one blender we got early on. It was chocolate. What was it chocolate cream, Royce? Amazing. Yeah. Like it was the best thing I had ever smelled in terms of tobacco. And then when I smoked
it smells like.
Yeah, it was such a disappointment. Like when you smelled it and didn't like smoke it, you'd be like, yo, this is it. I found the holy grail of tobacco. Yeah. And then you smoke it, be like, yo, this is some old hot now cheeseburger. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
25 cents.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's different. So it's just, it varies. And that's what I like about this process too. It can get, expensive, but you got to try what works for you. I'm very big on it has to work for you. What works for me is not going to work for you or him. And what works for both of you is definitely not going to work for me. So you're going to take some lumps early on. And I'm starting to narrow down the blends that I know I'm going to buy like all the time. Like I know I have at least 3. And then my pipe collection is going to grow. Like, and till God takes me from the planet, I'm pretty sure like I was going to have like, I'm going to have like maybe 5 pipes. Nah, it's not that way. I'm going to have like a case. I'm sure of it.
It's getting to the point where, like he said, you can't, there's no tried and true. And please, like we've said from the jump, we are not professionals. So before we do these segments, I research and I try to find the best information that I can pass on to y'all. And as I do that, I'm learning myself and I'm passing this information on to Ren and E, and we're going from there. From the jump, Renee asked me, I think you were going to ask me one time, hey, are you running honey through your pipes? Are you doing this like when you first get your pipes? I was never taught that when you first get a pipe that you should do X, Y, or Z. You should do this, you should do that. Me, I'm very laid back. I'm not like Renee. I'm not throwing a pipe cleaner through there. I'm not sanitizing this thing. As soon as I get a pipe, I'm so excited. I'm stuffing something in it and I'm lighting that thing up. That's just me. That's just the way I am. So we are trying to educate our viewers as we educate ourselves. So if we are totally wrong when we say stuff, please leave it in the comment. Tell me, hey, you're a dumbass. You are totally wrong. You're telling these people wrong.
Don't send me nothing and call me a dumbass. We're going to have a different conversation. I don't know you. Don't do that. You can call them a dumbass.
I'm
fine with it. I'm fine with
Mark it.
Whatever.
Edit.
Yeah, exactly.
Call me a dumbass if you want
to. But as I said, we are working through this every step of the way. Me and Renee are sharing stuff. We're trying to share it with y'all. We're learning as we go. We are just taking it day by day, and we are enjoying the pipe learning process, the pipe smoking process. And like I said, we are just chilling, lighting up some smoke, and just kicking back and relax. So you got anything, E?
No, I mean, that was pretty much it, man. I mean, I think, at some point in time, we'll kind of do, like Ren, you kind of touched on it when you sent Mark to his stuff. You sent him a starter kit, and that was based off of the knowledge that you already had, the items that you knew that he was going to need. You know what I'm saying? So at one point in time, we'll touch on what a starter pack, if you would, should look like. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, hell, even if it comes down to it, man, we can kind of give just a baseline of what you can expect in order to be able to start the process. All 3 of us are bourbon drinkers. At some point in time, we are going to start doing that with you guys as well. I went out and bought myself a nice crystal glass, and that is the glass that I drink out of every single time that I do it. But again, it wasn't something that I went out and did, initially. It's the same thing like with you guys were saying, it can get a little bit pricey, it can get a little bit expensive. It's the same thing like we were talking about cast iron earlier. I've got 3 or 4 different sizes that I have,
Right.
but I only use certain things for certain items that I'm cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's
Mhm.
just unfortunate sometimes that you just don't have just immediate knowledge of something. But I mean, that's just not how the way the world works, you know? So in situations like this, I'll continue to ask the questions that I think, you know, some of our viewers might actually have, just because I'm ignorant to it all. I mean, I couldn't tell you what Meerschaum sounds like, some dude that was in a James Bond movie that met him, you know what I'm saying, when he came off the plane, you know
He
what I'm
said
saying?
Marshawn.
Like,
That's
yeah,
right. You
Didn't
know,
he play for Seattle?
yeah.
holding
got
a
the
joint that says
photo on
Mr. Bond. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what any of this stuff is, man. Y'all talking about a tamper, and also tampering to me is what happens in the NFL and the NBA when they start losing draft picks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when I tell y'all that I am ignorant to the fact, I'm ignorant to the fact. So when I come at these dudes with these questions, like that's legit stuff, man, that I just, not being a smoker, that those are the things that I'm literally writing it down as we go, you know what I'm saying, to ask them what it is, you know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate the question because it
You
adds
have
a
to.
dynamic to the show,
It
because
does. It
you have
does.
2 people who are starting a hobby and one of us isn't partaking in
Yeah.
that. So when you're asking
Exactly.
questions, you're speaking for the people who are watching as well. Not, you're just not in here with us. So those
Yeah.
questions are valid, they're
Are
insightful,
valid.
and they give us a reason to continue speaking on it. So like that starter kit, I offered you the same thing, and I was
You
going to
did.
send you a nice little set just because you're my dude. But you said, "Nah, I'm good." But you would have gotten it. But maybe we'll do that one day as we get, bigger and we grow. Maybe we'll start, sending out like starter packs to kids. I mean, not to kids. Jesus Christ, help me. To adult viewers, not children under the age of 21. Sorry.
Your license needs to go this way, not this way.
Right.
Grown-ups. Grown-ups only.
Yeah, grown-ups only. Yeah, that might be a good idea. We might have to do that, Royce.
Hey, I'll put that out there. Look, if you're new and you're wanting to start, Renee turned me on to this. The Colibri Pacific Air lighter is the one and only lighter that you ever need.
True that.
Colibri, we'll take the sponsorship, please.
I was giving zero shine without sponsorship, but
don't waste your money on any other lighter. Buy this lighter. I'm telling you right now. Colibri, I'm waiting for that hookup. Hook me up. And with that being said, that is not necessarily the does it smoke like it smells, but it is the Homie Trinity's take on just a little insight on what it takes to start smoking pipes, a little bit of information on what pipes versus what blends you might want to use. And if you have any more questions, please leave it in the comments and we will do our best to answer questions you have. But as always, please like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we put out a new video. And as always, we really appreciate you watching us, and peace out.
Peace.